Let's discuss about what? Another interrogative adverb or interrogative pronoun, I think. Is it an adverb? I don't know. Interrogative pronoun. This one is a little different. I didn't put it together with the others, some different rules. Okay? Let's see. What? What does not refer to a noun that comes before it. You see? Big difference. Okay? Remember a previous case a little bit like this? Remember when we discussed which? I think it was which. Where is which? Here, which can refer to a whole clause. Remember which? Look at this sentence. Which, not referring to a previous noun. Look, he passed the exam, which gladdened everybody. This which is not talking about exam. It's referring to the whole situation, the whole clause. He passing the exam. Him passing the exam. This whole situation gladdened everybody. So this which here is in one case in which the relative pronoun is not referring to the noun. Okay? Then here we have another case a little bit like that. With what? Okay, with what? What? So what here does not refer to a noun that comes before it. For example, we have all the material that we need. Wait, what is this? Looks like something else. We have all the material that we need. Okay. I understood what I wrote. I wrote this. I just forgot. Okay? Yeah. We have all the material. Now you want to talk about the material, right? Yes. Then you cannot use material as what. You cannot refer to material as what. Okay? Do you understand? Even though what usually refers to like something, right? Yeah. Do you understand? So you cannot use what. You have to use, for example, that to refer to things or which, right? What? Yeah, it's coming. Yeah. We have all the material. Now you want to talk about the material, you have to use that we need. You cannot say what we need. Okay? So this is an example to show that what cannot be used to refer to the previous noun. Okay? Let's see what else. So what acts as a noun plus relative pronoun together. And it means the things which. It means the things which. Okay, a little difficult to understand just like this. Let's look at the examples. For example, what the teacher said was very important. You see? What the teacher said was very important. Is this okay? Yeah. Important. Important. But in American English, you tend to say important. 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 It's a guttural sound here. Important. Important. Okay? You don't say that important, two T's. We don't say that. Maybe British, they may say. They like their T's. But yeah, many people tend to kind of not pronounce it like that. Sometimes this guttural sound comes. Important. Important. Okay? So, okay, what? This relative pronoun, it creates a clause, right? It creates a clause. It creates a clause. Then this clause can act as a subject, object, or complement after be. Either a subject or an object or a complement after be. Look, as a subject, what the teacher said was very important. Look at this. Look at this. What the teacher said was very important. Let's mark our clauses here. Now, this thing was very important. So actually, this whole thing is, you could say, is like the main clause. But here, the subject of this main clause is this clause, what the teacher said. So this clause over here acts as the subject. Yes. It's a whole clause, you see? What the teacher said. There is a verb over here. The teacher is the subject, right? And what does what mean? It means over here the things that. The things which. The things which the teacher said. You know, here it's a singular, so the thing that the teacher said was very important. Okay? As an object, please give me what I want. You see, it's like a clause, you see? I want, subject, verb, and you have what here. It's like a clause. And it's like the object of this verb, give. Give me what I want. Remember? Direct object, no? Direct object. Yes. Please. No, take it. It is already the object. Then you don't say take it what you want. You're saying twice the same thing. Here you have two objects. Give me is one object, and what I want is another object, but take me, take it is only one object. Yes, this is an object, you see. What I want is an object, but it's the indirect object of this verb, give. Direct, huh? Give this to me, yes, direct object, right? This is the direct object. We haven't discussed much about these things, no? Types of object. Yeah. Yeah. I need to read this first. Okay, you see, in this case, what I want is like a clause, and it's the object of the sentence. It's the object of, in this case, the verb give. Okay? So this whole clause acts as the object. Now let's see a complement after be, the verb to be, okay? That information was exactly what I needed. Yes, when you have a verb to be, then it's not an object, but it's a complement. So that information was exactly what I needed. So this is a complement explaining what information is. It's like saying, I am a monk. A monk is not object, is just a complement. Vikatikata, a little bit like vikatikata. Okay? So this again is like a clause, and it acts as a complement of this subject over here, okay? Yes, let's go. So this is part 2 of our class. So we're discussing here what. It behaves differently. You don't use it in the same way as the others. Okay? Either it's here like a clause acting as subject, or a clause acting as an object, or a clause as a complement when you use the verb to be. These are the 3 options for what. Okay? Let me show you, for example, like this, just for you to see the difference. For example, the previous pronouns, relative pronouns, we use after the noun, right? Remember? For example, this is the thing, and then I'm talking about the thing that I like, for example. Okay? So that I like. You see, I just add it like this after the noun I want to talk about, right? But with what, you don't use it in the same way. You cannot say, this is the thing what I like. Even though what can refer to a thing. Do you understand? What can refer to a thing, but it's not used like this as a relative pronoun. Okay? You have to use it as part of, instead of this thing, here you remove this thing and then it becomes, this is what I like. You see? This is how you use it, as part of the other sentence.
Reason also can use?
Reason?
Yeah.
The reason why, it's different.
No, this is the reason what I want to say.
No, no, no.
But I understand like the meaning when I translate from my language like this. This is the reason what I want to say.
Because this is the reason.
What I want to say with you.
What I want to say?
No, what I want to say with you.
Not with you, Bante, not with you. I want to say to you.
I want to say to you, yes.
Yeah. This is the reason.
What I want to say to you.
Yes.
No.
To you, not my language with you. Baru I follow
This is the reason what. No, you cannot say what. We are discussing here what. What cannot refer to a previous noun. Look, what is the rule for what? What does not refer to a noun that comes before it. What is different. Different grammar for what. This is the reason, and then if you want to talk about this reason, usually for reason you use why. Okay? So for what, you normally talk about something. Like, this is the thing, for example. This is the thing. Let's say, this is the book. Yes. Yes. So, what can refer to the book if it's interrogative pronoun. For example, what do you like? Okay? Yeah. Then, I like this book. If the answer would be, I like this book. So, in the question, what is substituted by this book. Okay? So, what can kind of refer to a thing, you see? It refers to a thing. But it doesn't refer to a noun that was previously mentioned, like the other pronouns. Okay? This is the book, what I like. You cannot say this. What has a different rule for what. This is the book, what I like. Okay? Even though it sounds like it should be okay, according to those previous rules, but what is special. So instead of here, what I like, you already learned it's a clause, no? It's a relative clause, right? So this clause must, with what, it must either be the subject, the object, or the complement after be. So here we have the verb to be, you see? Is. So it can be the complement. Instead of the book, you can say, this is what I like. Yeah, this is what I like. This is what I like. You see? Look at this relative clause. What is it referring to? You see? It's not referring to a previous noun, right? Normally the relative clause, look at this one. It refers, Here, this one is that I like, okay? This is a relative clause, no? That I like. And it refers to a noun that was previously mentioned, the thing, right?
Yeah.
So you have the noun and the relative clause adding some information about it, right? But look at this sentence with what? What I like is the relative clause, but there is no noun before it. You see? There is no noun before it. It's different. Okay? So in this case, what is this relative clause acting as? It's a complement for the subject, okay? Complement for the subject. Complement is usually you have the subject, then the verb to be, and the complement. Complement. For example, I am a monk. Okay? A monk is not an object, is a complement. A complement of this subject. It explains what the subject is. So instead of a monk, you can have a what clause.
A monk say the noun, right?
A monk is a noun.
I talk about the accomplishment. Accomplishment is the noun.
Complement? Complement, I think no, it's not necessarily a noun.
Because a monk accomplishment, but monk is a noun.
Monk is a noun, yes. But one thing is the function of the word. Monk is a noun. But the function we are discussing here more often is the syntax. Because a noun, okay? For example, a noun. Can you give me a noun?
Table.
Table. Table is a noun. Is the name of a thing. The name of something is a noun, right? Okay. Now, table, the function of this word by itself is a noun. But this noun, in a sentence, can be, for example, the subject, or it can be the object, or it can be the complement. This is syntax. Syntax. For example, if I say, the table is round. So the table is a noun, but in this sentence, it's the subject. Or if I say, I like the table, then table is still a noun, but it's the object. If you say, I am a table, then it's a complement.
What is the different complement and object?
So some verbs take objects, like you give something. And the complement is something that is not an object of the verb. Anything else is a complement.
Not really related to the object.
Yes.
No, not really related to
The
the
object is not acting on that thing. Okay? We haven't discussed this like in detail. Even like to explain it to you, I need to study. Okay? But you see here, a table is not something that this verb am is doing something towards the table. You understand? It's a bit about the relationship between the verb and whatever comes. If you are something, you're not doing an action towards something. For example, I broke the table. Then, yes, you see the table is kind of receiving this action of breaking. Then it's an object. But here I am a table, this relationship is different. So it's not an object.
Depends on verb, is it?
Yes, depends on the verb. It's related to the verb. Okay? So here for now, the complement is when you have the verb to be. For example. I'm not sure. For now. Sorry? Complement? It's not that it doesn't depend on the verb. I need to study to explain it and see all the cases and everything. So here, I want you to, here, it's always after be. So the complement is always with the verb to be. So at least this much we can say for sure. You see? Complement after be. Okay? I think there are other things which can be considered complements. As a complement, the whole thing? I call that a predicate. But a complement maybe also? Is the same? I don't know. As far as I know, it's different, but I haven't studied this much. Okay? But here in this case, it's always with the verb to be. So right now, just focus on the verb to be and a clause as a complement of the subject. Okay? Let's finish this. Wait. Yeah. So here we end this, and then we can review, and you make some sentences, and we try to understand it. Actually, we just have 5 minutes, unless you want to stay more, but... What knowledge the king... What can be used as a determiner before a noun? So we didn't discuss a determiner, but determiner is something that comes before a noun and makes it more specific. For example, we studied articles, remember? All the times we talk about articles, right? Yes. So articles are a kind of determiner. Okay? But there are other words that can go before the noun that makes it more specific or explain more about it. So it can be used before a noun like a determiner. And it means the only, or the little, or the few. Special case. Look at this example. What knowledge the king has comes from his advisors. Huh? Which knowledge? No. No, it's a different meaning. What here means like the little or the few. The little knowledge the king has comes from his advisors. You see here, this clause with, okay, let's try to think what is the main clause over here. What knowledge the king has comes from his advisors. This is the part of the main clause. But what comes from his advisors? What is the subject for this verb? What comes from his advisors? What knowledge the king has. The whole thing is the subject. Do you understand? And this subject is a relative clause, you see? With what? So what? It creates this clause that acts as a subject in this case, you see? What knowledge the king has comes from his advisors. If you don't understand this, you may get very confused because you have one verb over here and then suddenly another very strange verb over here, you see? You will not understand this. Okay? So there are two clauses. Okay? The knowledge that the king has is one thing. And then this comes from his advisors is another thing. It's like two ideas, two clauses. Okay? And then you can use what for this, you see? This is not very common in the sense of the only or the little or the few. It's not very common, okay? Most often, instead of what knowledge the king has, we would say more natural would be whatever. This is more natural. Whatever knowledge the king has comes from his advisors. This is much more common. You see, instead of what, we say whatever. Because it's one, you see the red color is one clause. You cannot separate it with commas anywhere. nothing occurs to me, but yeah, if you find a case, we can try to analyze it, but okay, the king who killed many people is Alexander. Alexander, okay. The king who killed many people is Alexander. So you have the king is Alexander. This is the main clause. Then you have this who killed many people. What is this? It's a relative clause, right? The relative pronoun here is who. Yes. Is this a defining or non-defining? If you have just the king, it's not clear, it's not specific. So the king who killed many people, oh, what did I do? The king who killed many people is a defining relative clause. It's specifying which king. So this one you should not put a comma, for example. You see? You should not put a comma in this one. Okay, maybe yes. Okay, if it's something very long, maybe. But do you have any example? No. No. Yeah, if you find some example, show me. I would like to see. Okay, no? So, can you make a sentence before you leave? If you really want to leave, you can leave, but I think I would like you to make at least one sentence with this new topic, which is what?